Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Please take this time to find your seats and silence your mobile devices. This ceremony is also being recorded and can be viewed later at futurearmyofficers.com or youtube.com/Cadet Command. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fort Knox, Kentucky. I am Second Lieutenant Nathan Dawes, your narrator for today's graduation ceremony. At this time, we would like to welcome the following guests. Commanding General, U.S. Army Cadet Command in Fort Knox, Major General Christopher Hughes and his wife Marguerite. Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Cadet Command in Fort Knox, Command Sergeant Major Kenneth Krause. Army Reserve Ambassador, Brigadier General Retired Michael Devine. Commanding General, United States Army Human Resources Command, Major General Jason T. Evans. Commanding General, 75th Training Command, Major General James V. Young. Deputy Commanding General, U.S. Army Cadet Command and Commandant, Cadet Summer Training, Brigadier General Robert Bennett. Deputy Commanding General, U.S. Army Human Resources Command, Brigadier General Lynn Owens and her husband Ricky. Visiting Fort Knox today, we have a U.S. Navy World War II veteran from the USS Leutze, a Fletcher-class destroyer that fought in the South Pacific. Along with him are some of his family, the captain's wife and family, the daughter of the ship's doctor, and the wife and children of at least 3 other deceased veterans who are not here today. We would now ask this hero of America's greatest generation to raise their hand as we offer our thanks and deepest gratitude to him and his family. This ceremony is conducted by ROTC cadets, marking the successful completion of Advanced Camp. The graduating unit for today is the 6th Regiment of Advanced Camp, the General Carl W. Steiner Regiment. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Cadet Garrett Preston from the University of Alabama. Also participating in today's ceremony is the 100th Army Band from Fort Knox, Kentucky, joined by the 208th Army Band from North Carolina, commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 5 Larry Barton, and led by Drum Major Staff Sergeant Billy Eve. This ceremony marks the culmination of 31 days of rigorous and intensive training for these young men and women. For them, Advanced Camp served as a test of their leadership abilities and potential to be an officer. They have emerged from this challenge confident in their ability to assume the tremendous responsibilities of being an Army officer. The cadets of the 6th Regiment are now formed in front of you. Each regiment has had the honor of having bestowed upon it a namesake. This namesake is in honor of a general officer whose values and accomplishments represent the best the Army has to offer. 6th Regiment has had the distinct privilege of honoring General Carl W. Steiner. General Carl Steiner is a retired United States Army general who served as the second Commander-in-Chief of the United States Special Operations Command from 1990 to 1993. General Steiner graduated from Tennessee Polytechnical Institute in 1958 and commissioned as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army through ROTC. His duties range from operations officer with the 4th Infantry Division in Vietnam, commander of the 2nd Battalion, 325th Airborne Infantry Regiment with the 82nd Airborne Division, and commander of Joint Task Force South, serving as the operational commander of all forces employed in Operation Just Cause in Panama during 1989. General Steiner's awards and decorations include the Defense Superior Service Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Legion of Merit with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Purple Heart, the Army General Staff Identification Badge, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff Service Badge. In honor of their completion of advanced camp, the cadets from the General Steiner Regiment will be receiving a 3-gun salute in the form of a cadet cannonade. In a moment, the commander of troops will bring the units to attention.
Bring your units to attention! Company! Attention! Attack! Attention! Madness! Company! Attention! Black light boom! Company! Attention! Mad Dog!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the invocation offered by First Lieutenant Jonathan Render, Chaplain Candidate. The host for today's ceremony is Colonel Farrell J. Duncombe, Task Force Leader Commander. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Major General James Young. He is accompanied by the Regimental Tactical Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Yanis Fraley. Uniformed personnel are reminded to render a hand salute during the honors to the reviewing officer.
Bring your units to present arms! Present arms! Present arms! Present! Present arms! Present arms! Bring your units to order arms to parade rest. Order arms. Parade rest. Order arms. Parade rest. Order arms. Parade rest. Order arms. Parade rest.
Let us pray. O God, our Father in heaven, I thank you for you are the God of our strength. I pray that you may lead these cadets by guiding their hearts and minds. God, may you give these cadets the power to submit to your will, not just for themselves, but their soldiers as well. That they may lead soldiers one day into battle. God, give these cadets the strong patience that leaders need. God, allow these cadets to put on the whole armor of God, that they may be able to defeat any evil that may try to hinder the way of our great nation. Give them success and prosperity in all their future endeavors. I pray this in your strong name of my Lord. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Bring your units to attention! Company, attention! Corps, attention!
Company, attention! Company, attention!
Sir, the regiment is formed. Post color. Detachment. Center. March.
The colors are now being brought forward by the commander of troops. The flags present for today's ceremony are the national colors, the Army field flag, and the cadet command colors.
Sir, the colors are present.
Say the command.
Bring your units to present arms. Present arms. Present arms.
Present! Arms! Present! Arms!
Detachment. Present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem and remain standing during the firing of the cadet cannonade. We ask that military personnel in uniform maintain their hand salute until the completion of the cadet cannonade. The United States Army ROTC Cadet Cannonade salutes the three pillars of our service to the nation. Duty. Obedience and disciplined performance despite difficulty or danger. Duty requires self-responsibility and selfless devotion. Honor. Encompassing integrity and dedication. Honor is the thread which holds together the fabric of our Army. Country. For which men and women have given their lives, our country shines as a light of freedom and dignity to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Bring your units to order arms. Order. Arms. Order. Move. Detachment. Order. Arms.
The Cadet Creed was adopted to instill in Army cadets the values that are critical for successful performance. Cadet Marissa Gutierrez from Sacramento State University will now recite the Cadet Creed.
The Cadet Creed. I am an Army cadet. Soon I will take an oath to become an Army officer, committed to defending the values which make this nation great. Honor is my touchstone. I understand mission first and people always. I am the past, the spirit of those warriors who have made the final sacrifice. I am the present, the scholar and apprentice soldier, enhancing my skills in the science of warfare and the art of leadership. But above all, I am the future warrior leader of the United States Army. May God give me the compassion and judgment to lead and the gallantry in battle to win. I will do my duty. Leadership excellence, sir.
Ready to lead. Bring your units to parade rest. Come on, ready? Rest. Ready? Rest.
All right! Rest! All right! Rest!
The greater community of Fort Knox and our national and local service organizations are here to show their support to our future Army leaders. These cadets have demonstrated superior character and service throughout training and will be recognized for their efforts. Also, we kindly ask family and friends to remain seated during the awards presentation. The awardees will be brought forward immediately following the ceremony for pictures.
Left, go left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, more left, left, go left, through, halt. Left, hey.
The Ricardo Award is being presented by the Commanding General of Fort Knox, Major General Christopher Hughes, accompanied by Command Sergeant Major Kenneth Krause, to the cadets who achieved a 90% minimum on each Army physical fitness event, first time go on each confidence course event, 90% minimum on written land navigation, 5 out of 6 first time goes on land navigation, go on first aid and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense events, complete 12-mile foot march in 3 hours or less, and qualify expert in basic rifle marksmanship. This award is presented to the following cadets: Brennan Jones from Mississippi State University, Eric Wallace from the University of New Hampshire, Brody Monceau from American University, Christopher Bainline from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Jackson Gunther from Mississippi State University, Christian Carlunas from the University of Minnesota at Twin Cities, Garland Kennedy from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Jacob Martin from Colorado State University, and Trevor Smits from the University of North Georgia.
right, face, forward, march. Left, right, left, face.
The AUSA Leadership Excellence Award is presented by Major Retired Carl Cornelius. The award is presented to the top cadet in each regiment as determined by a regimental CAD grade board. This award is presented to Cadet Brendan Jones from Mississippi State University. The first Command Financial Services Award is presented by Major Retired Carl Cornelius to the cadet who best demonstrates the leadership traits necessary to encourage teamwork, improve unit cohesion, and reinforce mission accomplishment. This award is presented to Cadet Eric Wallace from the University of New Hampshire. The Apex Sec Warrior Award is presented by Colonel Retired Bob Fouché. The award is given to the cadet with the highest cumulative scores in land navigation and marksmanship. This award is presented to Cadet Rodney Roldan from American University. The Military Order of the World Wars Award is presented by Lieutenant Colonel Retired Richard Artisan. The award is presented to the cadet who best demonstrates ability to evaluate, analyze, apply, and understand experiences and capabilities to solve tactical problem sets. This award is presented to Cadet Drevin Anderson Kappa from the University of Houston. The Military Officers Association of America Award is presented by Lieutenant Colonel Retired Richard Artisan. The award is given to the cadet that has demonstrated superior dedication to duty and established a positive command presence by accepting accountability for self and assigned unit through the employment of team members while applying the fundamentals of leadership. This award is presented to Cadet Brian Jenkins from George Washington University. The USAA Warrior Spirit Award is presented by Command Sergeant Major Retired Joe Zettelmeyer for demonstrating personal actions necessary to represent the Army profession, ethics, and officership while best exemplifying the warrior spirit. This award is presented to Cadet Anthony Reed from the University of Dubuque. The Armed Forces Bank Performance Award is presented by Miss Nicole Shoemaker to the cadet that best demonstrates respect for other cultures and people by effectively utilizing the training scenarios to demonstrate a mastery of cross-cultural competencies as they relate to a complex environment. This award is presented to Cadet Alex Kim from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. The Reserve Officers Association Award is presented by Brigadier General Retired Michael Devine. The award is given to the cadet that best reflects the characteristics of a comprehensive soldier by demonstrating resilience and a lifelong pursuit of enhanced performance to cope with adversity in stressful situations and thrive in life. This award is presented to Cadet Ann Maffey from Villanova University. The National Guard Association of the United States Award is presented by Major Damon Hall to an Army National Guard cadet that demonstrates the most improvement in physical and mental preparedness for commissioning. This award is presented to Cadet Abram Hester from the University of North Texas. The Armed Forces Service Corporation Award is presented by First Sergeant Retired Rob Dunkelberger to the top male and female cadet who achieved the highest score on the Army Physical Fitness Test. This award is presented to Cadet Kendall Jones from Wheaton College and Cadet Alexander Martis from Iowa State University. The Bold Leader Spirit Award is presented by Sergeant Major Retired Bob Moore to the cadet who best demonstrates appropriate motivational techniques, inspirational leadership, and the spirit of a leader. This award is presented to Cadet Austin Williams from the University of Kentucky. The Norton Healthcare Award is presented by Dr. Jody Dunkelberger to the cadet who best demonstrates the ability to perform under stress while applying critical thinking skills to make accurate and immediate decisions. They must be enrolled in an accredited nursing program. This award is presented to Cadet Jenna Winter from North Dakota State University. At the completion of the ceremony, today's awardees will return to the field for individual congratulations and photo opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our awardees a round of applause.
Layup. 1, 2, 3.
At this time, we would like to introduce the reviewing officer and guest speaker for today's ceremony. Major General James Young is the Commanding General for the 75th Training Command and has been serving in the Army for the past 34 years. He received his commission through the Reserve Officer Training Corps from Davidson College. As a citizen soldier serving in the U.S. Army Reserve, he is the Chief Operating Officer for Galloway Consulting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Major General James V. Young.
Thank you for that introduction and the invitation to be here today. It's speaking at these events is always invigorating and uplifting for myself to see how bright and energetic our young officer corps is. It's especially noteworthy today to have so many veterans here with us. We recognize veterans from World War II earlier, but to see others from Korea and Vietnam, and of course some more recent conflicts. And great that you can be with us here today to share this moment. You know, about 35 years ago, I stood more or less where you did today, cadets, at Miners at Fort Bragg, and I have only 2 recollections from that day, to be honest with you. One, that, boy, it sure was hot, and 2 is I sure hope the speech doesn't go on very long. So I promise I will keep it short and sweet, and then we'll get you out of here and on to other things. But as I also reflect on that day, and really with only the benefit of hindsight, I realized how well prepared I was to start to become a lieutenant. I realized, how good my institution was at preparing me. I realized the impact my classmates and my fellow cadets had on me in my development as a leader. And this time that you spent here at Fort Knox is part of building that foundation as you move to being a lieutenant. We're lucky to have with us today lots of parents and close family friends, and of course your parents deserve most of the credit for you developing into the type of leaders that you're becoming. Your cadre here also had a lot to do with it, and at least over the last 31 days, and they gave me all sorts of funny stories to tell about you guys, about the attack of the raccoons on Alpha Company, and how Charlie Company had to rename part of their FTX the Trail of Tears, for how long that apparently is spent out there looking for the objective. But let me tell you, they were really quick to also talk about the fact that this group had more Ricardo Awards than any other group today. And they were especially proud of the fact that this group went straight from the FTX into the road march. So being out in the field for as long as you were, right at that 12-mile road march, and they're bragging about you guys and how well you did. It's a huge step to move from this camp to become a second lieutenant. And your experience in the Army will define really your life moving forward. whether you serve for 40 years or whether you serve for only 4. Your other graduates, other people that you'll graduate with when you get back to school, some of them will have some awesome opportunities, but none will have an experience like yours. So varied, none will be given more responsibility, none will be able to work with a workforce that's so diverse and have the ability to make a strategic impact with your tactical actions. When you get back to school, the cadets that you serve with and that you go to school with are going to look to you to lead them not only toward this camp, but for you now to make an impact on them in their road to being a lieutenant. And soon your soldiers will look to you to lead them and to make the right decisions that could have life or death consequences. So I'll give you 3 tips of advice, and only 3 as you move toward becoming a lieutenant. All these things you've learned during this camp and during your time, I'm just going to re-emphasize them. First and primary, always, you must share the burdens with your troops. It is unforgivable to do otherwise. You must lead from the front, and you've seen this during camp here. As you've been a platoon sergeant or a squad leader or a platoon leader, you must eat after your soldiers eat, sleep after they sleep, and if it's raining and you're all wet, well, you better be wet too. Your soldiers have to know that you would not ask them to do something you would not do yourself. And if you fail here, you'll never recover the respect of your troops. The second thing is always have an open mind and be introspective and learn from your NCOs. Our Army has lots of advantages over others. We have more resources, we have more training, but the one thing that makes our Army the best Army in the world that nobody else has is our professional NCO Corps. It's their job, part of their job, to help continue to mold you, particularly as a young officer. They have PhDs from the School of Reality, and you would be wise to heed their counsel. The last thing I'll tell you is be in shape. And I think you've seen that. You've seen the rigor that the Army can put you through during your camp experience here. But when I say in shape, I'm not talking about scoring a 275 on the PT test and calling it good. I'm talking about in real shape. Just think about how you felt after that time in the field. You're sleeping on the ground for a week. Now I want you to put yourself in a combat situation with the stress, the added stress that has. And I want you to think about doing that every day for a year. So that's the kind of physical and mental shape that you need to have yourself in if you're going to take on this awesome task. In closing, I just want to say that I think the most exceptional part of the journey you've been on is the tribe that you're about to enter. And the main thing that will separate you from many of your college counterparts is that you're going to enter a true value-based organization. And you know these values: loyalty, duty, respect, honor, selfless service, integrity, and personal courage. When you first joined ROTC, there was something that you probably had to memorize in order to pass a test. And now as you move toward your final year, as you prepare to be a lieutenant, there are things that we will expect from you each day, all the time, in every way. And if you live the Army values, and if you remember the lessons learned from your training to include camp, you will become a terrific citizen and a fabulous officer, and you will make a disproportionate positive impact on our country. Thanks again for inviting me here to speak. Congratulations on completion of your training. Army Strong.
Bring your units to attention. Company, attention. Group, attention.
Company, attention! Company, attention!
review. Pass and review.
At this time, the Cadet Regiment will perform the ceremonial pass in review. Please remember to stand and render honors to the nation as the colors pass. Now passing the reviewing stand is the Commander of Troops for today's graduation, Cadet Garrett Preston from the University of Alabama. Following the Commander of Troops is the 100th Army Band from Fort Knox, Kentucky, joined by the 208th Army Band from North Carolina, commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 5 Larry Barton, and led by Drum Major Staff Sergeant Billy Eves. Now passing the reviewing stand is Alpha Company, led by Cadet Jacob Pantalone from Texas A&M University. Now passing the reviewing stand is Bravo Company, led by Cadet Emmanuel Lumbai from East Stroudsburg University. Now passing the reviewing stand is the Color Guard, led by Cadet Ashley Morris from Troy University. Now passing the reviewing stand is Charlie Company, led by Cadet Alexandra Hill from the Virginia Military Institute. Passing the reviewing stand is Delta Company, led by Cadet Hannah McLeod from West Virginia University. Army song, the Wolves Team
Sir, this concludes the ceremony.
Great job.
Leadership excellence, sir.
Train to lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's graduation ceremony.